Major support for Out to Lunch is provided by the law firm of Jones Walker. Established in 1937 with over 375 attorneys and offices throughout the U.S., providing a comprehensive range of services to a local, national, and international client base. JonesWalker.com. And by Business First Bank, with locations throughout the state, including 11 offices in the Baton Rouge area, providing personal and commercial banking, treasury management, and wealth solution services to help clients succeed. Business First Bank. Banking with greater momentum. At b1bank.com.
From Mansurs on the Boulevard, we're out to lunch with Stephanie Regal. Stephanie Regal is a broadcaster and editor of Baton Rouge Business Report. It's business Baton Rouge style.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Regal. Welcome to Out to Lunch. Necessity is the mother of invention, they say, and if you've spent any time in the kitchen, you've no doubt thought more than once about building a better gizmo or gadget to help you cook, clean, or organize your kitchen. Perhaps you've actually done it. But have you been able to get your invention before 250 million eyes on the QVC shopping channel? Gaye Sandoz has. You might recognize her name from the LSU Ag Center Food Incubator, which she runs. But she's also the owner of the Clever Kitchen, a company that has created the microwave barbecue roaster, a microwave roasting pan that turns out a perfect rotisserie-style chicken in 32 minutes flat. Whether the roaster is taking the culinary world by storm just yet remains to be seen, but it's making quite a splash on the QVC network, QVC.com, and all over the internet. Gaye is here to tell us about her invention and the importance of getting it on QVC.
Well, it's very difficult to get on QVC because you have Rachel Ray and Emerald and all these other famous people with their products on QVC as well.
Michelle Schroeder knows a thing or two about selling your invention on QVC. Her product is called the Easy Greasy, and it's a specially designed strainer that connects to a heat-resistant container, making the disposal of messy grease from your frying pan a cinch. Michelle has also hawked her Easy Greasy on QVC, and with a name like the Easy Greasy, how could she not be a natural on the home shopping channel? So Michelle, welcome to Out to Lunch.
Thanks so much.
I'm going to come back to you in a minute, but Gaye, I want to get back to your story because watching your segments on QVC TV, I mean, it makes the microwave barbecue roaster look like every busy mom's, dream come true, answer to fresh home-cooked dinner. What makes it different than other microwave roasting pans? Because it's not the only one on the market.
Right. No, there's many microwave products, especially on QVC. My product creates steam, and the steam is let out. So you create a heat, like a convection oven, inside your microwave.
And so that's the secret. It's the steam.
Yes, and it heats up and it caramelizes the skin or whatever seasoning you have on your chicken.
Or whatever, I guess.
Yes, and it makes meatloaf, chicken. We have an entire cookbook with over 100 recipes.
Now, the science behind this was your idea. When did you come up with the idea, and who designed it for you?
When I was a single mom, and we didn't have a grill, so I wanted a barbecue chicken without a mess, so I decided to try to do it in the microwave. I have a dietetics degree background and a little food science.
That definitely helps.
Yeah, you have to have the food science.
Okay.
So I figured, the heat, the caramelization of the seasonings would help it brown. So I don't know, it just came out and
but I mean, in terms of designing the pan, with
I found the pan. It was an ex-Betty Crocker pan.
Wow.
It was discontinued. No one was selling it, and I just brought it back to life.
And you basically reconfigured it and put the steam component into it?
We left it as it was, but we increased the resin so it was stronger because barbecue sauce does get hot in the microwave.
Okay. And so who did the engineering on this for you?
We have a manufacturer in New Jersey, and he does all of our packaging. It's a one-stop shop. He packs everything and sends it to QVC.
And so he re-engineered the Betty Crocker pan.
Yeah.
And what about the recipes then? Do you write your own recipes?
The recipes are what is unique about our product, and it's basically what sells the product. Because the recipes are good, and all of my customers, I stay in touch with them. I put new recipes on Facebook, and that helps a lot.
Okay.
You have to help your customer. You have to tell them how to use a product.
How did you get it on QVC?
I have connections from a previous company I worked with, Cajun Injector, and I was a QVC account manager.
Okay.
So I made many friends up there, and when I had this product, I went to the brokers I knew, and they took it.
So connections were key for you to get on QVC.
It was key for me to get on QVC as a small business.
Well, I want to bring Michelle into the discussion now. Michelle, the easy greasy, and you didn't have connections probably on QVC.
I had no connections. I had some luck, which worked out okay. I was trying to figure out, how do you tell, as one person, how do you tell the world about a product? And I was exploring different things and trying to get some sales generated just locally and stuff first. And my dad said, you need to look, there's this contest on QVC and you should put Easy Greasy on there. And I said, yeah, okay, so I did. I went online and I sent the application, and they said allow 3 weeks to hear back from us, and they called me the next day and said, we want to put you in this contest. It's called Sprouts. It's for new products, sort of, small businesses, and you'll compete and get votes and so on. And I said, okay, great. And then I won the contest, and I said, okay, great. So, now what? So they sold it on the website, the QVC website.
And then you moved over to the TV.
And then they called me one day and said, okay, we want to put you on TV.
I mean, this is so
That's
made
scary.
for QVC. It's so perfect. I mean, this is
Terrifying.
Ronco's
Right.
perfect dream. I mean, explain to us how how this works and where this idea came from. It's a heat-resistant strainer that fits over this great little bowl that catches the grease.
And basically, long story short, I made a mess in my kitchen every time I cooked ground meat, which I cooked
Like
a
we
lot
all
for my
did.
family, right, for tacos, whatever. And I needed a way to strain it and couldn't find one. So I started trying to figure out how you make something. And through Meepole, which is the Manufacturing Extension Partnership of Louisiana, they put me in touch with a manufacturer here that helped me with the design. It's Noble Plastics out of Grand Couteau, Louisiana.
No kidding.
No kidding. So
There's
they're
another great story.
made
Meepole,
here.
Okay, and then
And yeah, Meepole is affiliated with ULL in Lafayette, and they do a phenomenal job. So I went and took some makeshift colanders and things I had, just kind of contraptions, and sat down with the engineers at Noble and tried to correct everything I hated about what I was doing. So we came up with this heat-resistant strainer and container, and instead of having round holes at the bottom, which always drove me nuts because my
Right.
ground meat would stop up the holes and then the grease didn't come out. These are shaped
they're
differently,
slits. They're little
right?
slits. Right?
So, and it sits in the container because sometimes I have trouble lifting up a pan and balancing things. So I made sure that it would sit on the counter hands-free.
Brilliant. So now y'all have both been on QVC. You're going back, Gaye. I believe you are as well, Michelle, just later this spring. Tell me about that experience and how important it is. I mean, when you go on QVC, does it change your life in terms of selling your product?
Yes and no. I mean, I think definitely it gives you exposure that you're not going to get anywhere else. But then when it comes down to it, you still have the hard work to do of selling your product all the time. So I think maybe for some people, QVC could be the end-all, be-all. But for me, certainly, I mean, I still feel like I need to keep getting the product out there in other avenues as well. But it was a tremendous boost to my business.
And yours too, Gaye, right? You were telling me how many you sold?
It's very expensive because your first order has to be so many units. It has to be $300,000 for you to get on a premier spot on QVC.
Really?
So it's on consignment. They don't buy it. You are put on for 8 to 10 minutes, and you've got to sell. So the pressure is on. And we have a microphone in our ears like this.
Right.
And so you can hear them talking like, go slice your chicken again. You just sold 3,000, or go taste your fudge. And it's a lot of pressure. It's very hard to work with.
And so you have to have a certain number of units ready to go. In other words,
It has to
get
be
on the show.
in their warehouse,
In their warehouse.
packed and ready to go. Perfectly.
And then they get a cut of it, and then you get the rest?
They mark it up like a wholesaler
Sure.
would, and they put in their airtime. So, the profits are slimmer than most markets are.
How quickly do the sales come? I mean, do they
Oh, it's
continue?
immediate.
It's tricky.
It's tricky because they tell you during the training not to look at this one screen that's on the floor, and that's got the counter on it to know what you're selling. But
Oh,
they
no
say
kidding.
don't look at it because then it appears to the viewer that you're looking at the ground. So you're sitting there dying, wanting to look so bad.
I bet.
And you, I kept telling myself, don't look down, but it was exciting. I was on, I think, for about 9 minutes, and the first airing we sold 5,000 out in that time, like within
In
a
9
couple of
minutes.
minutes. Within a couple of minutes of walking off the set, they said, stick around, we're about to put the sold up banner on the screen.
That is
and
fantastic.
It was insane. It
It's
was just,
exciting.
it's very exciting.
It's so exciting that you don't want to quit.
Right.
So it's as
I mean,
addictive being on
it is.
QVC as it is apparently watching QVC, from what I understand.
I
I mean,
think it
you've
is,
got
especially if-
addicted viewers on that network, huh?
Yeah, I think it's so surreal. At least it was for me. If you would have asked me what I'd said live on camera 2 minutes later, I couldn't have told you a single thing. I mean, it was for me total autopilot of just
That's
go.
very-
Right. And then it's definitely an adrenaline rush, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
And you have to sell so many units per minute, or so many dollars per minute.
And
or-
if you don't, what do they? You fall through
They
the
may
trap
give
door
you-
in the floor?
Yes. Yes. Oh, bye-bye.
That's it, and you're not back on.
Well, they give you a chance, sometimes if your product's good, if you have good reviews, but you don't want to have that happen too many times.
Okay.
So I hire brokers from QVC, so they're vendor reps, and they assist me because I have a full-time job. I don't really have the
And
time.
then y'all alluded to the training. They give you this training before you go on the air for just a few
Oh,
minutes,
you have
or you
to
have
be
a couple
certified.
hours, or
It's
what?
a day. You fly to
Day.
Philadelphia for a day, and you have to become certified to go on air. So that was really intense in itself.
I bet that was very interesting.
Their market is backdoor type selling, so they teach you that type of selling.
What
so
do you
it's
mean
not,
by backdoor type
It's
selling?
not hard sales. It's
see.
Like you're
hi,
talking to a
Hi,
friend.
June.
Right.
Glad you called in.
I see.
And they really do become your friends, your customers. It's amazing.
And are there any little tricks that they use to make that chicken look even more scrumptious than it would ordinarily be, or to help make sure that the grease goes in
Well, I
smoothly?
used their service to set up the display. I didn't cook all that food myself.
Okay.
They have food stylists.
They have
I
food
see.
I have
stylists,
my own
yes.
there, so I
You have your own
hire-
food stylist.
Well, I hire a contract food stylist that I've known for many
I
years.
see.
I can food style, but I don't choose because it's a lot of food and a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't. My food's live, so there's no special tricks. I have to make it sure it looks and tastes good because the host will taste it.
Well, speaking of tasting good, ladies, I'd like to bring in another guest who's joining us today. Gaye, I believe you know her. She's a tenant in the food incubator. Her name is Linda McAdams, and with her husband and sister, they have a company, Truly Scrumptious, that produces a product, the truly southern Pretzel Crunch, that is finding its way onto dozens of supermarket shelves around the area, and maybe one of these days before too long, QVC. It's a wonderful product. Linda, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you run this company, as I mentioned, with your husband and your sister. I believe Pretzel Crunch is her recipe, actually. And you and your husband joined with her a couple of years ago after you were laid off, and y'all were looking for something to do with this next chapter in your life and your career.
Yes, absolutely. It's something that she created about 30 or so years ago, and we've made it forever for family and friends, a lot at the holidays. And we just decided, I called her up one day and I said, I don't know what's going on. I can't find a job anywhere. And I think it's time. I think it's time to do this. It's been sitting right here in front of us for years. And so many people have told us we need to be doing this all the time. So we took a leap of faith, and that was what we did.
Because a lot of times you'll go to a family gathering, a party, and you say, oh, that's so good. Y'all ought to sell that.
Right.
You're the one who decided to do it.
Absolutely. We, I called her up one evening and I said, I'm ready. We're going to take this leap of faith. We're going to go all in, and we want to start. So are you with me? And she said, yes, I'm with you. Let's do it.
So did you start at the incubator right away, or did you start from your kitchen and just going to the farmers markets and the little.
Right, we did not. We started at home because we do make a variety of other things, but our one product that we are really going forward with is our Pretzel Crunch.
Okay.
And we started that at the Incubator at LSU.
And you want to be? Did you do any focus groups for tasting or taste tests beforehand?
For the original, no, we did not.
Because you knew it was that good.
Well, when we met Gaye the first day, she tasted it and loved it and told us she thought it could be on QVC today, and we were overjoyed.
That's great.
And so as we've added new flavors to the mix, we have done taste testing with our original customers. We ask them, what do you think? When we came out with our peanut butter flavor late last year, we had all of our customers who were already eating our other flavors try it and give us feedback. Should we add more peanut butter? Is it crunchy enough? That kind of thing. So it's been great to get that feedback directly from the customers.
Sure.
We love that.
Now, we've had some other food vendors on this show, and I know there are a lot of great local products out there. How do
Yes.
you get on those supermarket shelves? And I'm seeing Pretzel Crunch everywhere. So
Well-
whatever you're doing, it's working.
Great, thank you. We were involved with the Incubator. We got started, it was a year ago in July. And once you are making it at LSU, it's a DHH certified location. You can make your products there and sell on store shelves. So we were fortunate that our product didn't need a lot of testing.
Mm-hmm.
We went from our first test batch to our first farmer's market to our first retail store shelf within a month.
Really?
So we were very fortunate. That's not the usual length of
No,
time. It usually
certainly
takes
not.
longer.
How much are you producing now? What kind of volume are you doing?
I think it's about 5,000 or 6,000 pounds we made
Wow.
in half a year last year.
Now, for all three of you ladies, manufacturing is probably a challenge. I mean, how do you gauge how many units to make, and what happens when you get in a really big order and you're not ready for it? Or has that happened to y'all yet? I'm sure, you each have individual experiences, but.
Well, the folks at Noble are fantastic. I typically wait until I get a purchase order in before I call them and say, okay, I need, 12,000 or whatever. And they're very accommodating. We always seem to get it done without a problem. And that's part of the reason why I really love that I'm manufacturing an hour away from my house.
That's nice.
Because it gives you a lot of control over what's going on. And they're just spectacular to work with.
Great, and same with me. My manufacturer's great. I do control that very closely because I know how, and I will tell the buyer, no, I can't get you 20,000 units. I can get you 15,000. If I think it's too many,
Do you really need? You've had orders for 20,000 at one
I
time.
have. I filled 2 orders last year for 20,000 each.
Now, did those come from QVC, or was that other wholesalers that wanted your product?
No, they were. I only go on QVC, and I chose to do that because I have
Okay.
a full-time job, so I don't have time to really peddle my products anywhere else. I signed an agreement with As Seen on TV people.
I got you.
So I only do QVC, so I control it.
20,000 is quite a few.
I think we sold 100,000 in 6 months.
Wow.
So it was very touch and go. It was very interesting.
Now, Linda, if y'all get a tremendous order, then you have a few really busy days at the Incubator, huh?
We do. We deal. Our largest supplier that we handle is Associated Grocers, and so we've set it up to have a 2-week lead time with them. So we try to always keep our stock rotating, so we never have too much of a stockpile that we're sitting on an expiration date. Even though it lasts for quite a while, we don't want to have it piling up and just sitting. So we do keep our inventory fairly close, and when we have a big order, we turn on the jets and get in the kitchen a few days, in a week or 2 weeks, whatever we need to do to get it filled.
Now, are y'all online at all?
I do have an online presence, although I try to work more with pushing people to retailers. And I'm not exclusive with QVC, so I am in some catalogs and some of the Bed Bath & Beyond stores, the ones in
No kidding.
Louisiana and Oklahoma, picked up the product.
Okay.
So they like the angle that it's Louisiana made, so they that region picked it up.
So you don't have to be exclusive to QVC. You can be, but they'll work with you if you're in stores. It
Exactly.
just depends on your deal.
I've been approached by Bed Bath & Beyond, so if I decide to go that route, I'll have to hire someone to help me.
Sure. Well, y'all, we're going to take a little break right now to do what we call the checklist. And it's that part of the show where we ask you each a quick question that you probably wouldn't find on a loan application. So, Linda, I'll start with you. Do you have a favorite saying?
I do. I kind of actually let it slip already, but leap of faith is my favorite phrase, and it's so true. And I think the biggest thing for me was fear, and you just have to realize that you can't be afraid to fail. I guess what drove us to that point was kind of desperation to find something that we could really do and be happy doing, and that leap of faith has turned into something so amazing I couldn't have imagined.
That's so wonderful.
That has become my new favorite phrase.
That's great. Gaye, what about you? Are you a different person at work than in the rest of your life?
I am not.
Okay.
I'm either 0 or 100 miles an hour. So I stay very busy all the time. I'm the same. And you can ask Linda. She can verify that I am the same at work as I am on a personal level. I'm very, very fortunate. So I feel very blessed.
Okay. Michelle, do you have a pet?
I do. I have a dog named Buster, and I worked him into my QVC pitch when I was on air talking about, I was with Carolyn Greasy, who is a huge pet lover. So I worked Buster into the airing by talking about how he's sad that I don't spill meat on the floor anymore now that I have Easy
Totally
Greasy.
wrecked his program.
Right.
Well, y'all, I wanted to ask y'all, in Louisiana, New Orleans is sort of the food capital of the world. But do y'all see advantages to operating a food-related or cooking-related business here in Baton Rouge instead of in New Orleans?
Sure. I think we've had so many transients from New Orleans, and now we're starting to be a hub, or I guess a vacation destination, Baton Rouge. So I think Baton Rouge has grown. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of food interest. I mean, of course, New Orleans is always going to have that touristy type feel, but we have great restaurants, great food people. I mean, I love Baton Rouge. I really do.
Me too. And for me, it really doesn't make a difference because mine's not actually a food product, but I think the choices that we have here to work with local people, you've got tremendous talent in graphics and printing, and you don't have to go anywhere else. It's all here.
You mentioned graphics and printing. Do you all have marketing and ad campaigns for your products?
I'm starting one.
I used the
Very
students
soon.
at LSU to do my look.
That is fantastic.
The clean,
So clean.
Yeah, it's clean. They did it. They did everything for me, even my wraps for my retail. But I think it's beautiful. It was better than any graphic designer
Yeah,
and they
that's
won
really
awards
great.
for it. Yeah.
Right.
Linda, what about you? Are y'all moving in that direction yet?
We have not started that yet. We use a lot of social media right now for for advertising our product. And for us, the biggest thing is getting out into the stores, because people take a look at that, and while the label may catch their eye and they say, that looks interesting, but I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I want to taste it first. So that presence in the stores, I can't tell you how many times people have said, "Oh, I've been wanting to try this. I'm so glad you're here." And we usually will demo every flavor. So it's like a little kid in a candy store thing, literally,
Right.
because they can try them all. And that's been huge for us. I mean, the word of mouth alone is phenomenal.
That's fantastic. Michelle, you mentioned that y'all are getting ready to start an ad campaign. What is it going to look like?
Well, I am working with a magazine. It's a media company that has Taste of the South and a couple of food cooking related magazines. So I'm starting out with just some digital ads to sort of see how that goes. So we'll see. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. Right now, all I have is some pictures and a lot of words, but none of it's put together.
We all, believe it or not, we only have time for one more question, but I want to ask each of you, what advice would you give to someone who's standing in the kitchen and has an aha moment to create a better vegetable peeler, or olive pitter, or barbecue sauce, or Pretzel Crunch or whatever it is.
Well, I tested my product in fairs and festivals. Like I went and actually demonstrated it before I went on QVC and made that commitment. So I would say definitely test it. Don't spend too much money up front, and do a little research on your idea.
I would say look for those. Look at your local universities and find out what programs are available. I mean, we found out about the food incubator from a friend who I happened to be swimming with at the wellness center.
Really?
And she knew someone who was already in the program, and it's been a life-changing experience for us. We would not be where we are today without the food incubator at LSU. So I think there's so many things that are available to you and locally, and so you need to find those
That's
and
great
make the
advice.
most of them.
I would say if it's something you really, really strongly believe in, see what sort of feedback you get from it, and then just be willing to put your whole self into it and try, because you just never know what's going to happen. And if you have a good support group of people who will listen to your hysteria when things go great or things go horrible, you can get through it.
Good advice. Well, Michelle Schroeder, Gaye Sandoz, I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say at some point in our lives, most of us had said, why don't they make something that does whatever it is we're trying to accomplish? And the two of you have gone that extra step and actually done it. So congratulations on the success you're having.
Thank
you.
And we look forward to keeping up with you and seeing you on QVC and seeing what's next on the horizon. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here today.
Thank you very much.
And Linda McAdams, which one of us hasn't sat around the table at a family gathering and said to the family's favorite sweet maker, you should put that in packets and sell it? Like Gaye and Michelle, and unlike the rest of us, you've turned talk into action. And that's the very definition of entrepreneurship. You're off to an impressive start with Pretzel Crunch, and we're looking forward to hearing about where this adventure leads you in the near future. So thanks to you two for joining us today.
Thank you.
My guests on Out to Lunch today have been Gaye Sandoz, inventor of the Clever Kitchen microwave barbecue roaster, Michelle Schroeder, inventor of the Easy Greasy Strain and Save kitchen colander, and Linda McAdams, co-founder of Truly Scrumptious, the manufacturer of Truly Southern Pretzel Crunch. You can find out more about Gaye's roasting, Michelle's straining, and Linda's crunching by following the links on our websites, wrkf.org and itsbatonrouge.la. Today's show is recorded live over lunch at Mansurs on the Boulevard in Baton Rouge. Mansurs is open for lunch daily from 11 to 2, for dinner nightly, and for brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. The producer of our show is Grant Morris. Our technical producer is Eric Merle. Our associate producer is Peter Raschuti. And our Baton Rouge business consultants are Charlie D'Agostino and Ann Edelman. You can see photos from this show on itsbatonrouge.la and on our Facebook page. These photos are taken by Ken Stewart. Mitch Foreman wrote and performs all the music on Out to Lunch. Mitch's music, including his latest album, Puzzle, is available at mitchellforeman.com. You can get this show as a podcast, you can listen to past shows, and you can keep up with us on all kinds of social media by going to our websites, itsbatonrouge.la and wrkf.org. Out to Lunch is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsbatonrouge.la and WRKF 89.3 FM. I'm Stephanie Riegel. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to meeting you again next week around the table here at Mansurs for more business Baton Rouge style on Out to Lunch.
Major support for Out to Lunch is provided by the law firm of Jones Walker. Established in 1937 with over 375 attorneys and offices throughout the U.S., providing a comprehensive range of services to a local, national, and international client base. JonesWalker.com. And by Business First Bank, with locations throughout the state, including 11 offices in the Baton Rouge area, providing personal and commercial banking, treasury management, and wealth solution services to help clients succeed. Business First Bank, banking with greater momentum at b1bank.com.